This video is a exercise to work on some stability with the elbow. So you can get pre-cut pieces of kinesio tape or some sort of athletic tape that's flexible. They all come with paper backing. And so what we're gonna do is try to figure out how we need to put it on our elbow. So I'm gonna show you on myself. So what I did was this line right here, I marked. This line is my elbow crease, just so you could see it. And the two pieces of tape that I'm gonna use to start off with, I have an X here and an X here, and my two X's are gonna be my bases. And then I'm gonna follow my line where the pointer points down, and I'm gonna start at this base and I'm gonna follow it up and across. The key with this is you don't really want to try to put tape in the middle of this little elbow crease here in the middle. If you can, we want to stay a little bit lower around this elbow bone down here if we're able to. So sometimes the pieces of tape are a little long for you, and that's okay because we can keep wrapping the tape around. If you get really, really sweaty, sometimes that becomes an issue. But for right now, we're going to start with this. You can always make it smaller. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold the end of a piece of tape up, and then all I'm going to do is try to break the paper on the back. And what that does is that allows me not to touch the tape, because if I touch the tape, it loses its adhesiveness. Then I'm going to take and I'm going to find one of my bases. So I've got a base up here. So I'm going to start right here kind of in the middle of my biceps, and I'm just going to put the tape down at that angle to where I can kind of wrap it around. When I put my base down, I put that down and I'm just rubbing it. Rubbing is a source of friction that will create some heat that will allow this to stick a little bit better. Then I'm going to flip it over, and then you can see where the paper is, and I'm going to try with one hand to get some of this paper off so that I can pull the paper back and I'm still not touching the tape. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull, and I'm trying to explain, what I'm trying to explain here is if I could pull it 100%, really pull that as hard as I can, that would be 100%, or I can just lay it down, that's 0%. I'm going to go at about 40% of a pull, and what I'm going to do is try to follow this angle down and across, and I've got excessive tape here, so what I'm going to do is just wrap it around my arm, as you can see here. You really don't want to crease in the tape if you can help it. You want to take the tape and rub it again so that it sticks pretty well and you get some friction. So on this piece, we started in the middle of the up here on the top of the arm, close to where the middle of the biceps is, and I went ahead and anchored it down on an angle. And then I took, and after my anchor was down, I pulled it 40% and I wrapped it down and around to the other side of the arm. And that's my first piece. My second piece, we're going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to take the end of it, fold it, break the paper, peel the very end of it off so I have a base to start with. My second base is going to be in the middle of my forearm, and it's going to start, if this is my thumb side, it's going to start on that side. And I'm going to go again at that angle so that I'm going to make a big X with my tape. I rub it to get the friction started. Then I'm going to take and try to peel off the paper until I get to almost the very end. And then I'm going to bend my elbow slightly when I do this piece, and I'm going to pull it again at 40%. Now, as I put the tape on, you can see my elbow is slightly flexed. And then I'm going to pull it at 40%, and I'm going to come down and across underneath my arm on my triceps, and then I'm going to lay this last little piece down. So I've got a nice X going on. I do have some tape going through the center here, and that's okay. I just don't want to completely cover it. You can see that my two pieces of tape cross. I want to get them to cross as close to the bottom part of my elbow on this side as I can, and then they just wrap around for support. Now remember to rub the tape so it gives you some nice heat so the tape sticks and the tape sticks. The next thing you're going to do is get one more piece for stability. So on this piece, we don't need a full piece. So I'm going to go ahead and just fold it in half so I kind of know where that is. And then I'm going to take scissors and cut this piece in half. Then I'm going to take and round the edges of the piece of tape that I'm going to use. And I'm going to break off the end for my base again. I'm going to start this piece right up above where my tape is so that this is my elbow right here in the middle. I'm going to go up a little bit. I'm up probably about 3 inches. And what I want to do is get it along the bottom portion of this. So if my thumb's sitting up straight, what I want to do is give myself tape from here to here. But when I do that, I've got to bend my elbow slightly. So I'm going to bend it slightly, put my base down about 3 inches above the middle of the crease of the elbow. I'm going to try to pull the back of this paper off on the tape. And then I'm going to give myself a good 40 to 60% pull on this and lay it down and rub it for good friction. Now what this is going to do is when you try to fully extend your elbow, you're going to feel the tape grab, and it's going to tell your body not to fully extend it. And it's going to also help you feel like you can rotate your forearm and your hand upward a little bit. Now make sure when you're doing this, if you have any signs of reaction, any itching, any redness that starts around the tape, that you do go ahead and remove the tape. Also, if you feel that you're removing the tape and it's hard to get off, hot soapy water will help, or if you soak it with a little bit of rubbing alcohol, that'll also help to get it off. Please don't wear the tape longer than 24 hours at a time. Sometimes that can start to break down the top of your skin, and I would wear it if you're doing it for an athletic event, just for the athletic event, and then take it off afterwards and let your skin get some air, especially if you sweat a lot.